Okay, and the very last topic we're going to cover before we take this test is we're going to talk about transforming functions on the graph. Okay, so on the test and stuff, you're going to have a bunch of graphs, so you're going to have to do basically a mix and match. You're going to be given some kind of parent function, and I will give it to you, so it'll be on the test given to you. For example, out of these six graphs, the parent function or the original is just number one, and it's reflected by this function right here, 2 to the x power. Okay, so 1 is just b here. And again, I can double check it if I just wanted to plug in numbers, right? If I plug in 0, 2 to the 0 power is 1. Okay, at 0, it's at 1. If I plug in 1, it would be at 2. If I plug in 2, it'd be at 4. So yeah, this is the correct function. Now, the rest of these are just transformations of this function, of this graph. So we've talked about the vertical transformations, the horizontal, the reflections, and all that fun stuff. Okay, so basically I know what they should look like in the function form. Now we're just looking at them on the graph and matching them up with the appropriate equation. So for example, if I look at number 2, if I compare that to the original graph, this one looks like it's shifted to the right 3 spots, okay, because it crosses at 1 right here, and then it doesn't hit 1 until it's at 3 on the x-axis. So I want, and that looks like the only thing that happened to it, so I'm looking for something that's just a horizontal shift to the right 3. So again, horizontal, it's just going to the x, and if it's going to the right, that means you're subtracting 3 to the x. So I'm looking for something that's just 2 to the x, but minus 3. So none of these so far. Oh, right there, f. It's just 2 to the x minus 3. That would be the one right there. Okay. If I look at number 3 here, it looks like it's obviously gone down a couple spots, but it also looks like it's shifted to the left 1, because again, this line doesn't go up 1 spot until it hits right there at the y-axis, right? But this one goes up 1 from the asymptote 1 spot earlier. So it looks like it went down 2 spots and then to the left 1. So that means that I'm going to have a minus 2 after the exponent. And then I'm going to have if I'm going to the left, that would be a plus 1 in the exponent. So I'm up here looking for something that's plus 1 in the exponent and down to no. Oh, right there. Hey. Okay, not too tough, right? Then if I look over here at this one, this looks like it moved up 1 spot and flipped across the y-axis. So it's rotated. So they were going up like this. Now it's flipped across and it's coming down now. Okay, so it's flipped across. That means that the x would be negative, right? But not only is the x negative, but it is going up. Actually, it looks like it, yeah, just up 1. Okay, so I'm looking for negative x and then a plus 1. Let's see, right here. C is 2 to the negative x plus 1, so C would match with 5. Okay, then if I look over at this one looks like it flipped upside down. And it looks like it shifted to the left 1. So not only did it shift upside down, but it went to the left 1. So again, if it's going upside down or shifting over the x, that means that the base became negative. So I'm up here going to look for a base, and then, oh, D right there. Negative base, and then a plus 1. I went to the left, so D. And that's all you're going to do. And then you should be able to get 6 just by default. But if you look at it, not only is it shifted left to right, but it's also shifted up and down, and then it's moved up. Looks like 3 spots, and looks like it actually moved. No, it's actually right. So just negative base, negative exponent, and then up 3 should be E. And flipped upside down, flipped left to right, and then up 3. That's what each of those transformations means. Okay, and then the last thing you'll need to know for this thing today is actually performing the transformations yourself. So you're going to be given some graphs of some originals, and you're going to be given an original equation and then a transformation, and you'll need to describe it and then actually do the transformation, graph the new line. So you might look at that and be like, oh, graphing an exponential, that's going to be too hard to do. Oh, silly you students. This is going to be super easy. Let me show you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to describe the transformation. You'll see why, because it makes it super easy to graph my new line. So it was 3 to the x. It became 3 to the x plus 2 plus 1. So that plus 1 means it went up 1, right? Because it's not part of the exponent. And then the plus 2 in the exponent, when you add to the x, it's actually going to go to the left 2 spots. So there's my description. Now to graph my new line. I have this original line right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find 2, 3 points that are intersecting or are crossing an intersection on your grid. So like there's a point right there, there's a point right there. I'm going to grab a point off my asymptote there, and that'll probably do it. Okay, so now all I'm going to do from these 3 points is I'm just going to do my description. I'm going to go up 1, left 2. There's a new point that's going to be on my new line. Up 1, left 2. There again is a new point that's going to be on my line. Up 1, left 2. Again, new point on my line. This is going to be part of the asymptote, and then it curves up, and there's my new line. Okay, that's my new line shifted up 1, left 2. Easy peasy, right? You don't have to worry about slopes or intercepts or tables or anything like that. You just grab 3 points, 3 or 4 points, and then just perform your transformation and then connect the dots. Super easy. Okay, let's look at the other example, just make sure we got it. So this was 3 to the x minus 1 minus 5. It became 3 to the x plus 3 minus 2. So from -1 to becoming plus 3, that means I would have added 4. Again, when I add to my x, it's going to go to the left that number, so it's going to go left 4. Okay, then it became -2 from -5. -2 is 3 higher, means it went up 3 because I would have had to add 3. So up 3 is my description. So left 4, up 3. So let's find some points. So there's a point right there. There's a point right there. And again, I'll just grab one off the asymptote there. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a new point on my new line. So again, up 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. New point on my line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the asymptote is going to be mostly off the grid on this one. And there's my new line right there. Okay, super easy, right? You guys should be ready for the test now.